Shalom, sis.
Shalom, everyone.
What's going on? I probably think maybe a few other people might check in, and then we just going to rap about this stinking wicked Easter. Let's see. Just until a few more check in, just hold on 1 second. I'm gonna just play some music until they come in. It's probably got like 2 or 3 more people coming in, then we'll rock out.
Yo, I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
America, KKK, land of the good smokers, home of the slaves. And I'm just trying to be great. Tell me, how can I live with this drama every day? I'm a light, I'm a beam in this darkness. It seems that real life is a nightmare. Can I live my dreams on this earth? Since I was young, I realized I had a destiny bigger than the fake shit that's disguised what was best for me. Better than the hate and all the lies that be the death of me. As of late, since we've been hypnotized since elementary, thought it was my skin, but studied something that was new to me. They hate me because of what my ancient ancestors used to be. Healers, teachers, deities, not all of them were kings and queens. Our nature was natural, not supernatural. Now they call it magic and voodoo, that shit ain't practical. All the roots connected, always more to learn about, you know. Don't let the shit go over your head. Same snakes up in the garden, but the skin just shed. They'll always try to convince you that it's all in your head. Just know you gotta do better before you hit your bed. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they don't wanna see us win. Trying to kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin. Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin.
Yo. They say my rhymes cause too much excitement, ride incitement, shit, well there's no indictments when my kinfolk get murdered by white men. Dark skin, light skin, divided and blinded, so we beef with each other, our brothers, rather than fight them. Fuck all that silence, it's time to get shit ignited. I ain't my way, little nigga, I ain't taking shit from no Tarzan. Ain't no motherfucking nation got freedom from marching, begging for portions. Niggas ain't signing no parchments, big payback. You crackers got red in your margins, why? They broke every treaty, slaughtered the buffalo, and then they set fire to teepees. They carved their face in mountains, but we go to jail for graffiti. We fought for this country, they gave us syphilis at Tuskegee. We been getting robbed, yeah, we're the ones who stay behind bars. They take all our money, but they ain't wanna give us no jobs. Wasn't supposed to make it, but we stayed defying the odds. It's like we really only living off the grace of our God. Can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? Yo, can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
Shalom. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
What's up, man? I'm looking at him. I feel like I'm looking at myself, Aharon.
Definitely a copy of you for sure.
Con
Yeah.
Adawan, I said the same thing.
Hey, look, that's just me, but almost 6 foot taller. I don't know where that boy got all his height from.
I think we still trying to figure that out.
that's the Lord, you know what I'm saying? The Lord bless you with that, you know what I mean? So listen, so of course on the of course, welcome to the 412 podcast. Of course, we do this a little different than the straight out classes that we do. This is pretty much everybody jump in, talk about what's going on. We don't do the introduction and all that, but again, this is the 412 podcast, and today's topic is Easter, you know what I mean? So we're gonna talk, first of all, we're gonna talk about everyone's Easter today. You know what I mean? Ron, did you dye some eggs today, man? As we know, in the truth, and as she became the commander general Yohana, we know that Easter is a wicked thing. You understand? I know coming up in the world, I know back in the day, growing up in the Christian church, my grandmother was the centerfold of all of that. So we had the brand new suits on. You know what I mean? We run out in the projects in the yard looking for eggs. in the projects, you know what I mean? We ain't have this wasn't no suburb neighborhood behind those nice trees and all that. We was finding eggs behind remember the little clothesline things, the little poles with the hooks on them. That's where they was hiding the eggs at for us, you know what I mean? And on the hillside in Garfield. You know what I mean? But now, just to make a joke about it, but it definitely, as I got older and I began to find out that these things were wicked, it just became, it was crazy to find out that things that we've been doing since we were, young kids, little babies and everything we were just taught the wrong way. And of course, our parents, they were taught the wrong way. So you can't really, it's like at one time we were all in the world. You understand that some of us are coming out of the world, but we just didn't know any better. So when you grow up, you just follow whatever it is that the people around you are doing. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. And if some people haven't heard the truth, they just don't know. But like I said, at any time, anyone of you could jump in. But today was pretty much a laid back day. I actually forgot that it was damn Easter. You know what I mean? I don't even remember these holidays until somebody says it to me or something like that. I know during the slavery driving, people were saying a week ago, have a nice Easter, and I'm like, damn, it is Easter coming up. So in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, well, I'm ready to do that class. You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. You know what I mean? But, and even in the world, when they do say that to us, we don't get upset. We don't, get the hell out of here with that. We don't do none of that. We just say, have a good day. You know what I mean? I don't take it personal because they don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? And especially if it's a heathen, I mean, they definitely, they have no idea if they partake in anything. You know what I mean? So, but when the Israelites do it, they're just following the mind and the ways that they're oppressed and their oppressor, the customs of their oppressor. But I actually didn't see like I said, we don't do that at my home, and I actually didn't go out and see too many people with like crazy decorations or anything like that. Maybe it's just where I was at, but I do know that it was Easter because people will say things online, and and you just know because of the calendar, the yearly calendar and stuff like that. But other than that, I didn't really have nobody. Oh, actually, the only happy Easter I got was from the group chat from Port Authority from the people I turned in with. So, we got the group chat and, these are all grown ass men. Happy Easter. Oh man. I think listen to this, right? I mean, let me see if I got this still in my, this was crazy. I don't know who said this in this group chat because I don't even have the names of it no more, but I still got the chat. Listen to this, right? This is the chat with these other drivers that, started with me, over like 8 years ago. So I don't know who this is, but this is somebody from your garage, Aaron. So I'm holding you responsible for this. Listen to this. It says, "Happy Easter. Remember, Jesus was a long-haired, wine-drinking, anti-government radical who hung out with prostitutes, thieves, and liars. So don't judge. Be kind and keep on keeping on." If I may, sir. brother.
I
Go
need
ahead.
that phone. I need that phone number, so I'll figure out who it is.
I think I know who. I think you know who it is too. I think you know who it is. I'm not gonna say it over the live, but I will send it to you. I think I know who it is too.
Good.
But I was like, I was ready to go in. Like first of all, when he said the long hair, you know what I mean? I'm like, hold up, man. Like, so what is you saying about that? You're basically talking about Cesar Borgia. That's what you're talking about.
For sure.
Not saying that a black man can't have long hair because Christ did have an afro, you know what I mean, or woolly hair. But when he said long hair, he's talking about Cesar Borgia. That's what he's talking about.
And if I may, sir, he made him out to be like a sinner too, because he said he hung out with prostitutes. You know, he didn't hang with them. Now I don't know where that comes from.
God, he's trying to do the same thing we do. Well, we're doing with the same thing he did. We're trying to raise our people up out of the dust. We're trying to make them understand that this is a wicked day. You understand that? It ain't saying he hung out with them like he's doing what they're doing. Like they passing him the blunt. They passing him the blunt and everything. But go ahead, brother.
And if I may, there's a scripture where he was sitting with some sinners, and they questioned Christ on why he was sitting with them. I think it's in Matthew, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and that's a heavy scripture too. I just don't know where it's at.
If you find it, I'll pull it. You know what I mean? But yeah, but God, like young man Elijah, did you notice anything different up at there? Young man Elijah's up at school. He's at college right now up at Penn State main campus. And did you notice anything up there? Anything going on? Anybody celebrating and all that?
Honestly, I didn't know it was Easter until yesterday. What's it called? No, there hasn't really been nothing going on. The only reason I realized it was Easter is because my coworker told me, and I was like, it wasn't busy at work yesterday and like Friday, so I was like, where are all the kids at? She was like, they probably all went home for Easter. I was like,
oh yeah, right.
And then my grandma just called me today, you know, to wish me a happy Easter.
grandma gonna do it every time. Listen, if it's one thing grandma's gonna do, she's gonna keep that holiday spirit alive. It don't matter what day it is. She go look, man. My grandmother's the same way. Listen, we can go a whole year or months without saying anything. As soon as a birthday come around, soon as Christmas come around, or her birthday come around, she'll text me, "Hey, buddy, I know you're not really into these things, but you could tell your grandma happy birthday." This is what they do. This is what people in the world do. I'm telling you, they cannot let these days go. They cannot let them go. But so being that I'm in the truth, Elijah, what she's really saying is she loves you. She's thinking about you. And the world has taught her that she has to do that on holidays. You understand that? But I know your grandmother, you know your grandmother. She's just checking in on you. She loves you, but she just has the ways of the oppressor like everybody else does. They hear, they do when they're told to do. Instead of a black man or black woman, Hispanic man, First Nation man or woman, just what happens? What stops you from just any random day checking on somebody or giving somebody a gift or, you know what I mean, sending your love or gathering with your family? Why does it have to be the day that the white man says it is the problem? Go ahead. You had your hand raised. Go ahead, brother.
You talking about me?
Yeah. You had your hand raised.
Oh, well, I didn't have my hand raised, but I would like to add something. What's it called? So, yeah, it is crazy to me. Because I did a study not too long ago, and I gotta remember where I pulled it up from, but it was related to Christmas, right? And I know we're talking about Easter, but
yeah, go ahead.
Christmas is one of those things where it's like people who are already like broke go even more broke trying to get presents for people like this one time a year, and it's like, and it's one of those things where it's like, why does it? First of all, why does it have to be this one time a year, like you said?
Right.
But also, it does. It's like brainwash. Like you're already in a terrible situation. You're just putting yourself in a worse situation because you think you have to get somebody a gift this year. God, what he's bringing out is extra heavy. Listen, and this ain't me. You know, that's it. That's him saying that. You know what I mean? His experiences is teaching him that. You understand? His experiences is teaching that. And what you're saying is so heavy because you know what it is, Elijah? What it is we look at everything that the white man does and we think that we can be just like him and do what he does. See, the white man, he can spend thousands and, hundreds on Christmas and he'd be okay. His landlord is not going to be down his back like how we celebrate holidays and stuff like that, go broke, don't pay our car note, don't pay our rent,
And then guess what? The white man is going to be, sending you that eviction notice on your door. He don't give a damn about you celebrating the Christmas. He still want his. You understand that? So we can't, not only is it a disrespect to the Most High God, because we're not supposed to be doing it anyway, but also, it's like you said, it's stupidity, because you don't even really have it to do it. You understand that? I remember, being in the world, and again, we all come out the world, so we all had these experiences. I think the last time I celebrated the Christmas, Elijah, I think y'all were about maybe 13 years old or something like that, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, it's a while ago.
Yeah, it's been about y'all maybe 11 or 12 or 13. And I remember thinking like, man, I was broke too. I was broke. And I think I went on, I went to the Dollar General. And but one thing I did get y'all, I remember it was like a Wii, like the Wii, because I remember y'all always been big on y'all games. So I was like, I made sure I got them the Wii, and this was years after the Wii came out, so it was used. But they like that, and I just got a whole bunch of little BS toys from the Dollar General, and they just they were never really like, they didn't like, if you didn't get them stuff, they weren't really like pressed about it. You understand that? I the way I raised them, the way their mothers raised them, they just weren't like that. But me personally, because I was in the world at the time, I was feeling guilty. Like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking like, I can't get my kids what I really want to get them. I want to spend thousands of dollars on them, and I can't do it. You understand that? But that was a way, the Lord was letting me know that, this is not right. You understand that? This is first, I'm going to show you, I'm going to break you down to nothing, and then show you the real way. You understand that? But again, like I said, so when I speak on that, I'm talking about, I was in the world at once too. So I understand how these brothers and sisters, they go through these things, and they deal with what they deal with. But when the truth comes along, you got to accept it. You got to accept it, and you got to, do your own research. Like he said, he just researched about Christmas and everything, and he did his own research. That wasn't me. He did that. You understand that? And that's what we got to do. You got to start questioning these things. And like I said, I'll let you jump in, but like, there's nothing wrong with getting with your family anytime. You can do it any day. Why does it have to be December 25th? Why does it have to be April 20th or whatever it is? You know why? Because the goddamn white man wants to make money. That's why. He knows that if he designates a day, a lot of money is going to be spent from that week leading up and after. And he's going to get paid. And then you're going to be in a terrible situation with your God. You understand that? And we're going to stay destroyed, and he's going to stay above us. So, but go ahead, anybody can jump in.
Con, sir, let's not forget it's April 20th. That's the weed holiday.
Oh, damn. Give her a hand. I forgot all about that. Give her a hand. Listen, ain't that crazy how Easter and that fell on the same? That's crazy. That is crazy. I didn't even think about that. Wow.
So they celebrate Jesus and getting blood.
God. Hey, look, you can tell this sister been watching class. You can tell she's One West, man. She talks just like a One West sister. I'm telling you, and that is the honest truth. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, look, it's crazy she brought that out, because I'm gonna show a couple things. But so, in the Bible, it does make mention of Easter one time. But here's the thing. Let me see. Let me get the scripture real quick here. Let me pull it up for y'all real quick.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead, brother.
I think that word Easter, when it's translated properly from the Hebrew, I think it means Passover.
And that's exactly what I was about to go into. What you're saying is absolutely right. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull the scripture up here. It's basically just a corruption. This is during like the Roman time, so they take things and they just change the the meanings and the words and stuff like that. So basically what you're saying is absolutely right. But let me share it real quick. I'm going to show y'all real quick. So you'll see that it actually is in the Bible. But I wish I had the blue letter Bible. All right, y'all see that there? Acts 12:4. Can y'all see that?
Con.
All right, I'll read it to you. Acts 12:4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Now, I don't have the the blue letter Bible on here right now. I don't know if I can. Let me see. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see. I should be able to get it. Let me see something real quick, and then you'll see it for yourself, because I want you to see this. I think I do have it. You can get it. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, we good. All right. So I'm gonna type this verse in, and then I'm gonna show it to y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me stop sharing that so you can see for yourself. So you don't think I'm just making this up. But hold on. So it's Salakia. It's Acts. Let me see. All right, 1 second. Let me figure out how to search this joint. Let me see. It's Acts 12 and 4. Acts 12. It's a little different on the desktop, the laptop versus the phone, actually. Okay, here we go. All right. Now let me see if it'll do the same thing here. All right. So let me see. Let me share this for y'all real quick. All right. Can y'all see that a little bit? I know y'all don't really see the. Okay. Let me get in. Let me click in here real quick. All right. Okay. Let me see.
Is this different from the King James?
No. This is actually aligns right with the King James. This blue letter Bible, like there's certain words that people might not understand. So you can go into this blue letter Bible and you can click into it and it tells you exactly what it means. That's why Aharon just brought that out about it meaning Passover. Now watch this. Y'all see this here where it says Easter? See that where I highlighted G3957. So you can go to any verse and just click on the verse, click on the word. Like you can scroll down and find the word and click on it. It's going to tell you what it means. Now watch this. All right, hold on. Let me see something here. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can figure this out on here. Let me see.
I got to start spending more time on this blue letter because you can get a lot more understanding when you're dealing with this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely can. Now, here, all right, see, here it is. All right, I clicked on Easter, but it's Pascha. You see this here? Pascha, right here. This right here, Pascha, right? You scroll down. Look, right here. Read that for me, Aharon.
The KJV translates Strong's G3957 in the following manner: Passover.
There you go. You see? That's in the Bible. You understand that? That's in the Bible. So the water to you for bringing that out because that was heavy. You understand that? But so what happened is somebody will see that in the Bible. They say, look, there you go. They celebrated Easter. You see what I'm saying? That's what they'll say. They'll try to say that means that you can celebrate Easter. But that's not what it means. That's a corruption. You see, they changed the word, change the meaning, and then people think it means Easter. That's not what it means. But that was heavy what you brought out. Excellent, Ron. The water for bringing that out. But yeah, so Christ celebrated the Passover. The Israelites celebrated the Passover. Easter didn't come along until the Romans and stuff like that. You understand that? That's where Easter came from. You understand that? Just like all those other pagan Christmas and all that, the worship of Nimrod and Halloween and New Year's Eve, which is the god of Janus and all that. Easter is the worship of a god named. It started in ancient Samaria, which is Inanna, and then Ishtar, Ashtoreth, Isis. I'm gonna show you real quick here. Now let me stop sharing that. I'm gonna show you so y'all can see this for yourself. And I brought this out in class earlier, but here I'm gonna show you here. All right. Matter of fact, all right, I'll read this to you right here. Let me know if y'all can see it. All right, y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The title Queen of Heaven has been used for various goddesses in different mythologies, with the most common association being with the Babylonian goddess Ishtar. Notice how that sounds like Easter, Ishtar. Ishtar, also known as Inanna in Sumerian, was a powerful deity associated with love, war, sexuality, and fertility. That fertility is heavy. Anybody want to take a guess why I was talking about fertility?
Come on, sir. If I may. Easter eggs.
You're right. That's where they get the Easter eggs from. It symbolizes fertility and rebirth and stuff like that. What also does it? What else do they show during Easter that symbolizes fertility?
Bunnies. So
exactly. Even though
and all that.
Right. Even though bunnies don't lay eggs, but that's what they tell you it does. But you ever hear the term in the world? Elijah, you might not know about this, but Haran and Sister Tamika might know. They say you humping like rabbits, right?
I know about that.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said I know about that. That ain't my name.
All right, son. I didn't mean to play you like that. But you heard that term, right? You heard that term, right? So that's what it's talking about, right? So the phrase Queen of Heaven is also used in the book of Jeremiah, and that's what we're going to show you. So remember, it said the Queen of Heaven, and they associated that with Ishtar, Inanna, Isis, and all these other different fake gods. Now, before I show you, I'm gonna read this a little bit here. All right, so it says Ishtar, Inanna, Babylonian and Akkadian goddess. Inanna, the Sumerian goddess, was known as Ishtar by the Babylonians and the Syrians. So what's happening here is this is the same female goddess, but it's just different cultures and they changed the name. That's why when you get to Rome and they call it Easter, it's the same god. They just changed the name. Attributes. Ishtar was a powerful goddess of love, war, sexuality, and fertility. Queen of Heaven. Ishtar was often referred to as the Queen of Heaven. All right, now watch this. Let's go. I'm gonna stop sharing that. It's gonna tell you right in the Bible. Let me see. This is why the Bible is the realest thing out. The Bible is it, because the Bible basically tells you about everything that's going on. Everything. You know,
Jeremiah 7:18. Slock, sir.
Yeah, Con. That's where I'm going. Jeremiah 7:18. Haran, when that goes up. Matter of fact, let Elijah read that. Elijah, read this for me, please.
It was Jeremiah what?
Right there. It's right on the screen.
Oh, I don't see nothing on the screen.
Oh, hold on 1 second, Salaki. Maybe it didn't. Oh, okay, Salaki. Let me show it to you real quick. Salaki about that. It should be up there now.
All right.
See it now?
Yeah, is that chapter 7, verse 8 or 18?
18, yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 18.
Go ahead, read it. I can't hear you, brother. I don't know if you're did your mic go out?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just my internet, but all right, I got you.
Cool.
The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven.
All right, stop right there first before we go into it talks about it. So it said to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven. So what's happening here? It says the children gather wood. That's the children. The fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough. So everybody's what? Doing something. They're contributing to it. You understand that? The mother, the father, and the son. This sounds like a what?
Family.
Yes, you see? It tells you right here, right? And they get together to do what? To make cakes to the Queen of Heaven. That's what Easter is. That's what it is. When you dine Easter eggs and going Easter egg hunting and setting up your house to look like a place that bunnies live at and all this, this is what you're doing. Finish, Elijah.
Yep. And to pour out drink offerings unto other gods.
And to pour out what?
Drink offerings unto other gods.
How do you pour out a drink offering to other gods?
I mean, what's it called? Related to like worshiping other gods, like you make.
Right.
Like
So what would you do on Easter? I gave you that part, but what would you do on Easter?
Let's see. I'm not gonna lie. What do they do on Easter? I don't even...
Go ahead, Haran. You can answer it if you want.
I mean, if I had to take a guess, they're making a toast. You know what I mean?
Getting drunk and drinking. Just like any holiday, what do people do? Get drunk, roll up the weed. You know what I'm saying? Get with their family. That's what it's talking about. And then what does that do, Elijah? Finish it out.
That they may provoke me to anger.
They may do what?
That they may provoke me to anger.
And that's the Most High God saying that. You understand that? So when you get together with your family and drink and smoke and celebrate Easter and do things on Easter, you provoke the Lord to anger. Did I make that up, or is that in the Bible?
In the Bible, all the one.
That's in the Bible. You understand that? And this is not only talking about just Easter, even though it's talking about the Queen of Heaven on here, but this is talking about all holidays, all of them. You understand that? We have in Israel, we have high holy days. We just came from the glorious Passover. You know what I mean? We just came from the glory. Listen, next year, Elijah, next year is your year. You understand that? But the Passover was glorious. I mean, me and Haran was in there like fanboys in Israel. We was getting pictures with everyone. It it was just wonderful, man. It was. We came back. I know I can speak for myself. I came back to Pittsburgh and I was just like, oh man, like, I just, you know what I mean? Like, we was in Atlanta. The Passover was in Atlanta. First time going to Atlanta. What was your experience like in Atlanta, Haran?
It's beautiful. I like the city. I mean, it was a nice city. It was pretty clean. I mean, a lot of bent wrists down
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean? But other than that, you know, it's
Choose
hard
your
not
words.
to see that.
Choose your words wisely. Choose your words wisely.
There's a lot of transformers, a lot of bent wrists. You know what I mean? But other than that, I got to see, you know, my brothers and sisters, and it's depressing. You know, it goes so quick, and when you on your way back, as soon as it's over, you become depressed a little bit. You know.
Listen, the water what you just brought out, but listen, and I'm glad you're on the screen, Elijah, because I say this to you, and I'm gonna say this to your siblings. Don't be, you know, don't hold back from getting out and seeing other places. Like if it was up to me, honestly, if I was in your place, I would definitely check out the South. I would check out places like Florida, North Carolina, Atlanta, Texas. I'm telling you, they in the North, they try to talk about these places like it's like worse than the North, but it's not. It's not worse than the North. You understand that? And it's just, to me, I just think everything is better. I think the sister, I believe she's from North Carolina. She can tell you about that. Sis Tamika.
Come on, sir. I'm from Pittsburgh.
Right. But yeah, come.
But I was raised in North Carolina. And I tell everybody it's a different environment.
It is. It's just, and we've been at our last 2 Passovers was in North Carolina. Before this one, me and Aaron loved it down there. It was nice down there. It was definitely nice. You know what I mean? So yeah, son. So if you know, don't be afraid to venture out. You know what I mean? Go see some things. Your family's always going to be here. And like I said, you go, you know, live your life and experience some things. Of course, the best thing I'm going to tell you is to be in the truth and, you know, be solely in the truth. But as far as like getting out and seeing some places, do it. Especially while you don't have any children and stuff like that. It's you know what I mean? Because Pittsburgh's one of them places, once you start having children, you get stuck here, man. And it's not a beautiful sight. Put it like that. You know what I mean?
I think, if I may, sir.
No, sis.
I think the big difference is, like, in Pittsburgh, you don't have a lot of diversity.
Right.
It's white against black. When you down south, it's like you got so many different races. I never seen so many white people till I moved up here.
God.
You know, like everybody down south, like my teachers was black, my principals was black, everybody I worked with was black.
That's heavy.
Like, it was a different environment for me when I moved here. I'm like, yo, I didn't know it was like this.
And that's heavy, because living here in Pittsburgh all my life, I remember at one point in time before I started traveling, I used to think it was nothing but just white and black people. Because you might see a little bit of Moab and Ammon here, which is Chinese and Japanese, and now you're starting to see a little more Hispanics here. But at one point in time, you didn't see like no Hispanics here. I remember like when I was younger, there was like none. Yeah, or maybe I was just trapped in where I was living at. I don't know. But what about you, Haran?
No, just like in the past 5 years, you start seeing Hispanics maybe. But
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful
Bring
thing.
them here. Bring them here. Yeah, I mean, I love it.
Them, you know, Slocky, if I may, I look at them, I said, damn, you know, my brother, my sister, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, it just feels like, you know, okay, we're starting to get some numbers up here, but yeah. But back in the day, it was just white and black. That's all it was.
That's what I remember. That's how I remember it. There's another, I just put another scripture up on the screen. We're going to do like 2 more and then we'll be done with it. But so Deuteronomy 5:7. This is the biggest point about these holidays. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. That's the commandment. You understand that? That's what the Lord wants you to know. So when you're celebrating these holidays and stuff like that, that's what you're doing. You're putting something over the Most High God. And this is what angers, like we just read in that last scripture, provoke him to anger. And then you wonder why blacks and Hispanics are destroyed in the ghettos, the boroughs, the reservations, why our sisters are single parent mothers and brothers are being, you know, thrown in jail and unalived by Esau, and the heathens are gathered against us. You understand that? Because we don't have the protection of our God, because we are putting other gods before our God. You understand that? So that's what's so heavy about this. We can't, if we want the Lord to have our back, we cannot serve other gods. The Lord is a jealous God. That's what he says. I'm gonna go to the next verse. Let's see, 5 and 8. Deuteronomy 5 and 8. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. So what this is saying is making an image or anything and looking at it and saying that, that this is your God or you worship it. That's a wicked thing. You understand that? Like they have statues and drawings of this so-called Queen of Heaven. If you type it in on Google, you'll see it. And you worship, you bow down to that's demonic. That's wickedness. The Lord hates that. When it says thou shalt not make any graven image or any likeness of anything above that's in heaven and earth or the water beneath. Let me see. It's the next verse. Maybe I want. Let me see. Thou shalt not, Deuteronomy 5 and 9. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. So the Lord is saying, don't bow down to these false gods. What is the major god in America? Anybody want to take a guess?
It's either Caesar Borgia or the cross.
You damn right. That's what it's talking about. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. This is a commandment from the Lord. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity, the sin of the fathers upon the children. You see that? Our fathers crucified Christ, and we were born in America. The sin of our fathers affected us. Do you understand that? That's like the things that we do now can affect your children coming one day. This is heavy. This is why we're born here in America, and I got a slave name. You got a slave name. You got a slave name. She has a slave name. You understand that? If we were born in Israel, we wouldn't know anything about that. We would have Israelite names. You understand that? And we wouldn't, be taking on the customs of these heathens or, talking like even the way we speak. This isn't our language. Being born in America, this is, you understand that? This is the white man's language. Ain't it crazy? We speak it very well too, right? Crazy, man. Crazy. But again, this happened because of our disobedience, right? That's why it happened. Let me get one more here. Let me get Colossians 2 and 8. This is one that we bring out all the time, Aharon. And anything you want to bring out, you can bring out as well. Let me see. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8.
You mind if I read this next one?
Yeah, sure you can. Go ahead, of course. Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Go ahead, brother.
Mm-hmm. Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
You want to take a shot at that? What that means?
If I had to make a judgment, I think it's based upon don't let people like the men of the earth try to dissuade you from anything that is obviously not God and Christ.
You damn right. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. That's exactly what it's saying. Beware lest any man spoil you. What does spoil you mean? To rob you. They rob you of what? The Bible and all the covenants and the laws, the statutes and commands is for the Israelites. So when you don't obey God and you listen to man, you are robbed of that. You know, with that comes rulership of the earth. You understand that? So we're robbed of that. Lest any man spoil you through philosophy. What's that? The thoughts of men. And vain deceit, meaning something that's useless or worthless. What's useless or worthless? Easter. Bunnies laying eggs. Christmas, reindeers flying over chimneys and all this crazy, goofy stuff that they talk about. You know what I mean? That's vain deceit. It's useless. After the tradition of men. What does it mean? These are things that are made and created by men, not the Most High God. These are traditions of men, not traditions of the Bible that we are supposed to obey. These are traditions of men and women. After the rudiments of the world, meaning the principles, the basics of the world, not the truth, the world. So if you're celebrating Easter, you are of the world. If you're celebrating Christmas, you are of the world. You're celebrating your birthday, you are of the world. And not after Christ. Why does it say that? Because Christ wouldn't do these things. And he's the model. He is the person that we are supposed to look at and, be a replica of. That's what we want to do. Christ lived as a man like myself and you other two brothers here. and even you, sister, because he lived as a human being. You understand that? As a man. You understand? So Christ kept all the law, statutes, commands. And Easter is not of Christ. Christ is not of Easter. Christ kept the Passover. You understand that? That's what he did. He kept the Passover. He wouldn't celebrate Easter. He wouldn't let his family swindle him into, being tricked over to, grandma and mom do. Oh, baby, come on over and get a plate. I know you don't celebrate Easter. You get over there. You know what I mean? Now you over there with 12 other people. Y'all eating ham. You know what I mean? And all other abominable meals. And you celebrate Easter. She pull the camera out, take a picture, post it on Facebook. And then General Muhammad see it.
Good night.
You know what I mean? Your camp leaders see it. That's basically, you know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with I'm telling you, Satan is a bad Satan. Listen. Satan, we had a listen, look, before we close it out, we had a media council the other day, right? And our Captain Hador, he said something so heavy, man. Like, there was an issue going on with their transportation going down there, but to make a long story short, they was having some issues like with it breaking down. Cap was, and because Cap is a prophet, Cap was like,
somebody's
sinning in this motherfucker. And if you don't understand what we're talking about, this is what it's talking about. So y'all know the story about Jonah, right? You ever heard that story? Jonah in the well. Do you know what happened before he ended up in the well, the belly of the well? So Jonah was given a vision. He was given commanded to go prophesy to Nineveh, to have the people repent from their sins. And he didn't want to do it. He tried to run away from it. So he was given a job by the Lord and he tried to run from it.
Tried to run,
So they got on the boat. He got on a boat with a whole bunch of other people, right? Now picture this scenery, right? This is all niggas and black people. So picture this, right? Picture being around your niggas, right? Because that's what the Bible is. So he's on the boat, and then the ocean started going real crazy. All the waves start going real crazy. The boat start rocking back and forth, and niggas are scared, right? So they think to themselves, like, hold up, man, somebody on this boat is sinning against God. And then them niggas is like, it's you sinning against God. They found it was Jonah. Man, they took that nigga and threw him over the boat.
God.
Listen, if just picture in your head, that is niggas. Because niggas is not about to die. Unless you're in the truth, you is not about to die over somebody else. You is not about to. So they knew, because they were prophets, they knew that somebody was sinning against the Most High God. They was like, we gotta get your ass out of here, dog. We're not going down for you. So they threw his ass over the boat, and that's how the whale swallowed him. And basically he was in the belly of the whale for a number of days or whatever, and then spit him up on the land so he can go prophesy. Now, if you think this is crazy, you can type right now on your phone on YouTube, whale swallowing people.
That really happened.
It really happens. It happened recently. It happened recently.
There was, if I may, so there was an instance where maybe not even like a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago.
It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. Yeah, listen, and my whole point of saying that is, Cap is a prophet. You understand that? He knew right off bat something was going wrong. You understand that? So the same thing, like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be very careful with Satan. Satan has a way of getting to you. You understand that? He has a way of getting to you. He will trick you. He will use your family, use your children, your job, anything. You know what I'm saying? And coming down to that Passover, there was a couple of brothers fighting a lot of demons to get to that Passover. And I'm telling you, right up to the very end, fighting demons. But once you get into the Passover, it was over. It was over. It was nothing but glorious. You know what I mean? It was a glorious thing. So, like I said, before I close it out, is there anything else anybody want to bring to the table or talk about? Nothing anybody want to say? Nobody want to talk about? If you celebrated Easter, you can tell us right now.
I'll sleep all day.
That's the way to go, son.
I never even left the house.
Gone. Yeah, like I said, I didn't even know until people was telling me, and I didn't even think it. I forget about all them pagan days until somebody in the world tells me. But the water, you know what I'm saying, for y'all standing ground and holding. We're in the Feast of First Fruits now. You know what I mean. So like I said, them high holy days, I'll post it in the chat, and then y'all can pay attention to it. But yeah, like I said, man, the water for everybody tuning in, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? And like I said, if y'all ain't got nothing else to say, I'm gonna close it out. This is the 412 podcast, and we'll see you next time. Shalom, everybody. The water.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Definitely let me know next time you get another class going.
Come on, brother. The water for tuning in, son. I'll see you later. Talk to you later.
Yep. See you later.